Now, there's also been a lot of speculation as to the sources of funding for this particular investigation. Now, even people who hail your work afterwards come back to say, this is really good work, but I wonder where he gets its money from. Now, is it fair to say, per what has happened, per what we know, that the BBC funded this investigation? Is that accurate?
BBC did a film about my film. That's what happened. But, I keep laughing when I hear issues of funding and all that. When I did the Usu Children's Home, psychiatric hospital and all those, why didn't you ask me where the source of funding is coming from? Why? Because today it touches on politicians. You want to ask. I mean, we've done a lot of multinational collaborations over the years. We collaborate with them. Don't forget that I'm a publisher. By my own right, I'm able to afford. I belong to a newspaper that has been in this country for a very long time. Newspaper with businesses. I'm on my own. I have businesses that I run. And all of a sudden, we must believe that I cannot afford an investigation. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, if I say I funded it, then what? I think that we should focus on the substantive issue. Unless anybody has evidence to show that I cannot fund it, let them come out with it. When our businesses were challenged, we came out with our reports, our financial reports. So people think that journalists cannot have money to fund their own projects. And so if a journalist does a strong story, it means that he has stolen the money. What is this?
Interesting. Now, let's touch on a particular story that emerged from it that many people seem to have missed, because Mr. Nyantechi obviously was a big fish in this investigation. Now, Accra House of Folk fans are saying that your investigation was very unfair to them. They are saying that you used their club as a sort of a lab rat to prove your point, and that it has dealt a huge reputational damage to them that they might not be able to recover from. Now, how do you react to such assertions?
I love football people because I say this because I've watched a lot of House of Folk fans and even their club managers and complain about poor officiating in football, complain about the problems that the referees are giving them. I pop out. I clean the problem for you. And today you're asking me that why did I use your... Of course, I couldn't have used a team from Togo because it's not possible. And to be honest, I think that it's not only House of Folk that are used. There are many other teams that will come up. But you see, the story is still unfolding. Let us wait for everything to come together. Then after that, the people I have to apologize to, I will apologize to them and still remind them that I couldn't have used a Liberian team for this investigation. It's not possible. I know my friends in House of Folk, I know my friends in Kotoko and Wa All Stars and all are calling me to say that why did you use our name and all that? But hey, I think it's an issue that can be looked at.
Now, another issue that's come up is the fact that people are saying you worked on both legs of the biggest fixture in Ghana, which is the Accra House of Folk Kumasi Asante Kotoko rivalry. Now, this is a rivalry that has a dark history. May 9, 2001, 127 people dying. It's even in your film as one of the motivations for this investigation. People are saying, but Anas went into this investigation, he paid referees, he could have engendered another May 9th episode. Now, was he aware of the risk of having to recreate something that he even referenced in his own film?
Certainly not. I was clearly out there to make sure that we don't get a May 9th again. That was very clear in my mind. People are entitled to interpret it whichever way they want. It's fair comment. But we watched the lines. That even though we paid, we had the evidence. And so if anything untoward was going to happen in a particular match, we stood in a position to call the police to act. Let me tell you one thing that people don't know. You see, before this undercover operation will go on, there's always a top police officer who is across all this. Always. One, because of security. because we could get to went to one of the pitches and we nearly got lynched because you want a quick access for help. So we don't just go out there and start shooting. You have to make sure that you provide the necessary backups. And I tell you, there were senior police officers who were in on this and who sometimes had to help us carry through this. So yes.
Interesting. Now, what do you say to people who come at you with that accusation, if you will, of not uncovering corruption, but you create it? You know, you are not uncovering something that is happening, but you create the conditions for it to happen. And then you come out and say, hey, this person is corrupt. And a lot of people have said that in the wake of this investigation, people have made specific references to the Sani Dara episode. They are saying perhaps is the most ambiguous piece within the whole structure. They are saying he may have a defense. You know, in the light of all this, how would you respond to it?
He addressed Sani Dara's matter. I don't get him. What is his complaint? We come over to you. We ask you that we have a player. We want him to play the Black Stars. You start by saying that it is the player's own effort that will lead him to play. But you agree that you will help. Did I put those words into his mouth? I didn't do that. When we were going, we say, yeah, if you say you will help, take this money. We give it to you. You pass the money on to somebody. Then after that, you shake our hands and thank us. Then you turn around to say what? Did I force him to take the money? I don't get it. So if Sani Dara, where is the case? Look, we went to one of the guys, Kwekueya. He drove us away. Why? Was I putting the words into Sani Dara's mouth? He could have driven us away. When the money was being handed over to him, what stopped him from calling the police on us? He could have arrested us. So yes, Sani Dara can say whatever he wants to say. But, I mean, I know what is on the tape. And that's exactly what I put out there. I didn't say that Sani Dara didn't say the player should not train hard. He did add that, look, before you get into the national team, you have to be a very good player. We should advise the player to play very well. Then he went on further to say, but I will help. Of course, I didn't force him to say he will help. Nobody we don't arrange words and put into people's mouths. When we went to Kwekueya, he sacked us. You know, so that's the first leg. Now, the second leg is those who talk about entrapment and all those. Look, and with regards to Nyantechi, nobody pushed his hand to receive the money. All the NAMAX and the 25% and all the 5% and all the deals he was doing. Nobody forced him to say. In fact, the team didn't even know this detail. But he did. You understand? So you cannot come and commit crime and turn around to tell me that I have created the enabling environment for you to commit that crime. However, I'm still also open for discussions. And you see, discussions on undercover journalism started many, many years ago, 50, 60 years ago. It will still go on. People have the right to perceive. But I want to remind all of you that crime, fighting corruption, is different. Usually, the giver and the taker are all together. Anybody who has a better means of catching corrupt people should come out with it. We are prepared to interrogate and discuss as a nation so that we can push the frontiers of our democracy. We are open to such discussions. But now, I think my method is very effective. Don't forget, many people have gone to jail for those crimes that they have committed. So I do not regret for my style in journalism. I have no regrets at all. If you give me the chance tomorrow, I will do it. And honest people will still come out as honest people. You are dishonest, you are dishonest. Is it that when they are caught, so if he was not caught, then he's a good person. But when we catch you, you are not. All those who have issues, the courts are there. You can go. Look, I keep on saying that people shouldn't be accepting my journalism hook, line, and sinker. It is there to be challenged. And the law court is open for everybody. And I tell you that I'll prevail, like I've always prevailed.
Now, we cannot end this interview without addressing the big elephant in the room. A lot of attempts have been made to uncover you, to see how you actually look like. Pictures flying about on social media and across the media landscape. Now, how do you look like? We want to see how you do look like.
Well, if you want to see,
I certainly do.
this is how I look like.
So viewers, there you have it. Anas Arimiyaw Anas says, this is how he looks like. What do you think? Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Fifi Anaman. We'll come your way again next time. Stay blessed.